What is up, everybody? We are live here at Homemade. I am Joel Gehrman, the head chef of Homemade. So excited to be here on YouTube Nation. This is my big virtual hug. Thanks for hanging out with us in the kitchen. This is like the Super Bowl of food. We are around the corner from Thanksgiving. Couldn't be more excited for what's happening in 2 weeks, I think 2 weeks away. This is when everyone's starting to kind of plan their menus, come up with what they're going to serve for Thanksgiving. Really exciting time. And I also think there's like a switch that kind of goes on for people this time of year where maybe a lot of people don't cook a lot or don't think about kind of food that they're kind of having a lot, but now it kind of turns on because families rolling into town, whether it's for Thanksgiving or any other holiday. It's just the season to be cooking. And today is going to be the kickoff of that. And we are going to highlight 2 dishes that we feel like are iconic. And I have been in food media for so long, I know that when you try and twist and kind of do too many changes to the classics, people get upset. So today we're going to show us 2 amazing Thanksgiving sides. We're going to show you how to make an incredible stuffing and an unbelievable green bean casserole, both totally from scratch, both unbelievably doable and so crave-worthy. So really excited. We're also going to show you a twist on these, not in a bad way, but shortcuts, something that you've probably never seen before in the kitchen, and we're obsessed with them. And we'll talk about it, but it's called Dorot Gardens. So this is our partner today. These guys are legitimately amazing. We're going to get close here, as you guys can see. But the concept is simple. They cut prep time by so much because they take some of our favorite ingredients, whether it's caramelized onions, garlic, ginger, turmeric, and they process it for you. So they'll chop it for you, they'll puree it for you, and then they flash freeze it while it's still at its absolute peak. So it saves you so much time from mincing to chopping, and it makes things like Thanksgiving so accessible, so doable. So I'm excited to kind of introduce you guys to this. Once I got my hands wrapped around this, which I just started with about a year ago, I haven't looked back. My freezer is filled with Dorot Gardens. So really excited. One of the things that separates Homemade from every other cooking school out there is that we are interactive and we are live. So you can talk to me and ask me questions through our chef in the chat, which today is Amy. Amy, how are you?
I'm great, Chef Joel. We were just talking earlier that this is my first time using Dorot Garden, so I'm super excited to see it.
We've got a newbie.
Yes,
but I think a lot of
it's
people
gonna be
are.
awesome.
I think a lot of people are like you, Amy, where it's just they've never really heard of this concept. It's kind of one of those things where you're like, how does this not exist? Does this really not exist? Until now, like that's just surprising. It's some of the things that people hate doing in the kitchen the most, like chopping garlic, chopping onions. Those things make your fingers smell all messy. They take time. These are, like I said, frozen little cubes of these products already, and they just hang out in your freezer, and they're ready for you when you're ready for them. So really excited to kind of introduce you to it. We are going to start with an amazing, amazing stuffing, which some people call dressing, but ours has caramelized onion, which is going to be Dorot Gardens. It's very sweet, it's savory at the same time, and it is just the perfect balance for a stuffing. So let's start this puppy off. First step I have is I've got a big skillet on a medium-high heat. All right, that is step 1. And with stuffing, you kind of want to go with the classics, right? We're kind of not going too far from the classics. So I've got some celery that I'm just going to cut down the middle. Right? And I'm just going to cut this into like little bite-sized pieces. So I'm cutting down the middle, and then I'm going to once they're laid flat, I'm going to cut them again. And I always say this in almost every class, but if you're not comfortable with a knife, you can still rock out this recipe. Just put it in your food processor and just press the pulse button. But I'm just going to kind of line these up, chop them up, and you guys know our ethos here at Homemade is if it's all not perfect, that is totally cool. As long as they're around the same size, they're going to be great. So starting with some celery, which adds, kind of like the soft kind of vegetalness to it. It does add a little bit of sweetness. It's nice. I'm going to go ahead with some butter, all right, right in. And then all that celery in with the butter, just to kind of start sweating, doing its thing. Throw it in the chat. Do you guys have a favorite stuffing that you like to do? What's kind of your variation? Does stuffing have to be on the table? I used to not like stuffing. Then I got into it. It has to be the right stuffing. It's got to be a little crispy on top. It's got to be super moist in the middle. And I don't bake it in the bird. Controversial hot take? Amy, what do you think?
I agree. Not inside the bird.
Not inside the bird for a lot of different reasons, but that's kind of gone out of vogue because you can control it a lot more. It doesn't get soggy, and there's kind of a risk of contamination and things like that when you cook it inside a raw bird. But you can if you want. It's just not really a thing anymore. All right, with the carrots, I'm cutting them in half. These are beautiful little heirloom carrots. And kind of like the celery, just kind of like bite-sized pieces. By the way, this is taking a long time to prep. Dorot Gardens, I'm ready for you guys to come out with some chopped mirepoix, right? That's already ready to go. Actually, that would be really cool. Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, we'll have to pass that idea along.
Yeah. Here's my thing as a chef. I don't need to chop the ingredients from scratch. I love that Dorot Garden saves it, but I do really want to make sure that it is the real deal. And what I mean by that is, there's things like garlic. Do you know garlic, Amy?
Yeah, not so great.
Not so great, right? Where it's that chopped garlic just suspended in oil forever. It just kind of mutes the flavor. It's not the same. What I love about Dorot Gardens is, again, it captures garlic at its total peak. It is total fresh, raw garlic, chopped up, flash frozen. That's it. And so there's no other ingredients. You get the essence of that garlic, and it's almost as if you just chopped it. All right, so in the pan, we've got, just to recap, celery, carrots, and butter. Big pinch of salt. I'm just kind of tossing those through. By the way, this rainbow carrot situation makes this look really pretty. I'm calling that out as I think that's something we should all get behind. All right, this looks great. So, now is where I reason with you, and I'm going to blow your mind. So this is where Dorot kind of comes in, and I'm into it. So let's just talk about these sautéed glazed onions. Can we get close on here? Okay. This is like the hack of the year. I'm going to open this up so you can see what it looks like. So what you can see is, I'll just pull this back, and normally you can just leave this on if you want, but I'll pull it back today so you can see. So it's just caramelized onions, frozen. Those are little ice crystals. And you just kind of pop them out like that as you need them. Really easy. So today I want 5 onions in the stuffing. So I tip it this way, and I just pop out 5 little containers worth. And our recipe calls for it, but I would say each one of these is about maybe a quarter of an onion, half an onion, something like that. I'm going to go with 6 because they smell so good.
Bonus onion.
Yeah, what instantly happens in the kitchen is you smell thyme. And I know that's weird, but caramelized onions smells like thyme. It smells like you've taken this moment to take the sugar out of the onions, and there's a smell to that. There's a comfort to that. And with Dorot, you get it literally on demand. So it smells like you've been here for an hour sweating onions. You've been here for 1 second sweating onions. Can you smell it already, Amy?
It sometimes takes a second to waft this way if you
you
want to just push that scent my direction.
Oh, I'm getting it right perfectly. I'm just literally facial with it, and it is amazing. So you can see the colors. They just kind of defrost in the pan. You can totally put them in a little bowl and nuke them for 30 seconds just to take the frost off them, but I like them just to kind of add right in. What are people saying in the chat? Are they into this?
There's a lot of love for those caramelized onions. Some people have used them before, and those are, everyone, so good.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
They're so good. All right. So caramelized onions are in, and can we just go to a top-down real quick again, Richard? I just want you guys to see, it looks like it's been cooking for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. This is crazy. We are live, you guys. There's no movie magic here. This is the special part about Dorot that I love. All right, we're going to add some garlic. So the way that the garlic works, Richard, I'll try and go slow here, but you have kind of the little package up here, and you open it up. You don't take this part off. This kind of keeps the pods together, and you just kind of punch them out as you need them. I'm going to go 3 because I like garlic. Each one of those are 1 clove. So if a recipe calls for, 6 cloves of garlic, that takes you about 3 seconds. If it calls for 6 cloves of garlic and you're going to chop it up, that'll take you about 5 minutes. So you're saving time, and it's just really good garlic. So we're going to add our garlic in. We do that at the end because we don't want the garlic to burn, right? This looks so divine. All right, so this is kind of the base to our stuffing. And we're going to add a little bit of spice in here. So I've got turkey seasoning, which you can find all year round. It's kind of poultry seasoning. And it's a mixture of herbs, warm spices, sometimes some anise. And then I've got some chili flake. So I'm going to just shake that in to our little stuffing mixture here. And at this point, we just kind of like turn down the heat and just kind of let it warm through. And this is done. I think these quick little wins, like making, this flavored, gorgeous kind of base to the stuffing in so little time is what makes Thanksgiving flawless, seamless, and where you can really enjoy it. So let's get on to the bread part of the stuffing. So stuffing is literally just flavored croutons. Just call a spade what it is. If the croutons and the bread are inside the casserole, they're usually moist and fluffy. If they're on the top, they're super crispy. So what we love is sourdough bread, and we like to kind of leave it out on the counter the day before Thanksgiving. And that just gives it a little bit of kind of staleness, but you want that staleness because the outside stays dry while the middle kind of stays fluffy. So I just stack up some slices like this on the board, and then I just take my knife and I just cut them down. And again, I don't care if they're perfect, just as long as they're kind of around the same size. So little bite-sized cubes. What are people saying they put in their stuffing, Amy? They respond to that?
There was a cranberries and pecans.
Ooh, that's a good combo.
And then someone also likes to have sausage and apple.
Ooh, I like both of those.
Yes.
Both went savory. Sausage, savory, apple, sweet. Mm-hmm. Well, they did savory and sweet.
Sweet and savory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sweet and savory.
cranberry
And then
pecans.
the cranberry. What was the cranberry and walnut?
Cranberry and
Or
pecans.
Love that. All right, so here's kind of all of our cubes of bread. And now we're going to kind of moisten it. So I'm going to go ahead and just scrape in all of our kind of onions, garlic, celery, spices. And I'm telling you, those caramelized onions are just unbelievable. So that goes in. And I'm going to add some chicken stock. If you're going to buy your chicken stock, just get low sodium. That way you can kind of control the amount of salt that's going in here. That looks great. Put that away. And then I'm going to go in with some eggs. And I always want to crack my eggs in like a separate bowl. Because if I cracked them right into there and maybe they weren't a good egg or you got some shell in there, it's not fun. So this is like just to make sure that everything comes out all right. And then I just kind of whisk those up. And this, what does, is just kind of binds everything together. So the eggs are nice. It also brings a little bit of fluffiness to the whole party. So that's going in. Check it out. Just kind of drizzle those eggs in. Cool. And then I'm going to grab some parsley. And actually, Dorot has parsley cubes, but we're going to use basil in a little bit. But if you have some fresh parsley, really simple, just kind of take them up. And I just kind of like put the stems and the tops together. I don't like to waste anything. Chop it nice and fine. I want this to be herby, kind of bright. That's what I love in a good stuffing. Yeah, I don't know why I used to not be a stuffing guy. I think it's because it used to come in the bird and it was just like a soggy mess.
I was to say, I think like wet stuffing is maybe less appetizing. So you need nice, like, let it bake and dry out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you treat it like its own thing and you give it the love it deserves versus kind of it's a combined thing and kind of a second fiddle to the turkey, I think it's a win for everybody. So I'm just kind of taking this parsley, chopping it up, And I've got a good like couple of handfuls here. I like a lot of herbs. Totally up to you. You could use sage. You could go with a little bit of fresh basil, but I'm kind of digging this fresh parsley. So in we go with that. God, I love this time of year. It's the best. All right. Then you just got to get messy. I mean, you know what? Forget this spoon. Get rid of that. Best hands or best tools in the entire kitchen. So just kind of get in there and just kind of toss the egg, the herbs, all those caramelized onions from Dorot. Oh, this looks great. And kind of squeeze, right? And just kind of get in there. Like, this is what cooking's all about, right? And one of the things about the Dorot thing that we've been kind of talking about is sometimes you forget. You're like, oh, I forgot an onion, or I forgot a spice, or I want to add something. And the fact that they're just sitting in your freezer and they're just there for you, right? The way that your spice cabinet is such a game-changing thing when it comes to holidays. It takes away that stress that a lot of us have. This looks really good, I have to say. A little bit of salt. Do one more toss. And I think we're in good shape. You guys, I don't care if it's messy. I don't care if it looks crazy to you. This is cooking. This is home cooking. And this is the way we should all be eating. So I take this big, beautiful mess up, and I don't pack it in there. I kind of lay it nicely into my casserole dish. I did butter this casserole dish up a little bit, but then you just bake this, okay? And the way that you bake it, I'll show you. That looks really good. So
People agree that it looks delicious.
What's that, Amy?
People agree that this looks like it's going to be delicious.
It's going to be so good, and it smells incredible. So this is key right here, okay? So the key is I actually like to wipe the sides, right? So there's not like little sticky bits. So just take the moment, grab a little towel, and just make sure that the sides stay clean. It really bakes nice that way. And then grab some tin foil and tightly just wrap it up. And you bake this at 350, 325, kind of that temp, for about 30 minutes. And it will totally cook through. The egg will cook, because that's really the only thing that needs to cook. The bread will stay incredibly moist because all the moisture is trapped in here, right? Then, after about 30 minutes, we take off the top and we cook it for another 15 minutes at 350 until the top becomes nice and golden brown. And I wanted to just show you guys what this looks like. And we'll try it at the end, but this one just came out. Ooh, it's still a little warm. So check this out. Oh my God, look, can we get in close? Look at that. That is dreamlike. Golden brown. I can smell the caramelized onions. I'm not going to try it yet.
I thought you were going to. It seemed like you were going to pick a piece.
I was very excited. I got a little too excited there. You might want to top this. I'll just grab a couple of fresh parsley. You know, there's beautiful parsley baked into this. But just to kind of top it with a fresh kind of vibe is really, really nice. And you bring this to the table next to the bird. You can always at the end, like if you have juices from your roasted turkey, you can kind of drizzle that over the top, and they just soak in at the very end. But this right here is a total celebration. Maybe a little black pepper over the top too, just to kind of remind everyone there's a little bite to this from the garlic. I mean, again, can we get in? Look at that.
And those little orange carrots peeking out. So pretty.
I love it. All right. Stuffing, done. That was an 18-minute masterclass on stuffing. Any questions, thoughts, concerns?
So you mentioned this earlier, but could you just reiterate why you add the egg to the stuffing?
Yeah, two big reasons. One is the egg binds everything together. So it kind of like brings the bread. And you know how stuffing really has that nice it kind of is one cohesive dish versus individual croutons. So the egg kind of makes it almost like a frittata or, oh my gosh, I'm totally spacing on the dish that has bread in it that's egg-based. But it allows everything to kind of stick together.
Strata?
Strata, thank you. And the second thing it does is it actually continues to keep everything moist. So there's a little fat in there, and it just keeps the bread that's underneath the crispy layer super, super fluffy and gorgeous. All right. that is our stuffing. Let's move on to the green bean casserole, which I have to be honest, let's just call a spade what it is. This is a green bean gratin, right? I mean, what is a gratin? Like a potato gratin. It's just a cheesy, beautiful, it's like mac and cheese, but instead of, pasta, you've got the green beans. So this is so easy, you guys. I want to start. I like mushrooms in it, and I know that's kind of classic. So I'm going to add a little oil to a pan. This is just some neutral oil, and then a little bit of butter. And by a little bit, I mean a decent amount of butter, because our mushrooms soak up everything, right? That's what mushrooms do. They're like sponges. We've got little baby portobellos, these little baby bella mushrooms. You can use button mushrooms. You can use wild mushrooms. But I'm going to just get them in and start kind of sauteing those up. These take a minute. I'm going to give a nice pinch of salt, pep, and you might need some more butter. But woo, there goes the pep. You might need some more butter. You might. Woo. Oh man, live cooking. So you might need some more butter. You might need some more oil, but you just want to kind of get these guys nice and golden brown. These look so good. All right, so these are being tossed. Good to go. Let's talk about the green beans. Not a fan. Just going to throw it out there. Different. And we're talking today about kind of frozen. I'm going to say not a fan about frozen green beans. So I like frozen foods. I like Dorot Gardens. I like frozen peas. There's certain vegetables I like that are frozen. I like things that are small and frozen because they freeze really evenly and the water content kind of stays together. But when you freeze something big like a green bean, there's just so much water logged in it that sometimes things can get watery. So if I were you and I was making green bean casserole, I'd find fresh green beans, right? And we're going to find some other really cool hacks using Dorot Gardens that leverages frozen stuff. So for the green beans, I'm getting close here, Richard. This right here is like the little tail of the green bean. This you want to take off. You can just click it off with your fingers or a little knife. Okay, those just get caught in your teeth. No fun. And then I just cut these into little bite-sized pieces. So do that again. You can line them up like little soldiers, cut the bottoms off, and just bite-sized pieces. Really, really simple. It's just worth it. I know you can buy them frozen, but again, I'm being honest with you guys today of what I like frozen, what I don't. Dorot Gardens, I love. Frozen green beans, I don't love so much. Frozen peas, I love because they're tiny. I love them. All right. So here's our green beans. We've kind of prepped a ton ahead of time. All right. I've got some water boiling. Don't look at me crazy with what's about to happen, but I'm going to add a lot of salt. Okay. And this salt, you're not going to eat all that salt. No one's going to have like a heart attack at Thanksgiving, at least not from the green beans this year. But they really season the beans from the inside out. So once the water is boiling like this and it's nicely salted, you can add your beans right in. All right, we're going to let this go for a couple of minutes. So let's just recap real quick. In our pan over here, we've got some butter, oil, and some mushrooms that are just getting nice and brown and caramelized. We've got our green beans, which are boiling, and they're getting tender. How are we doing in the chat, Amy? Any questions, thoughts, and concerns?
We don't have any new questions. There's just some great discussion about variations on side dishes. So someone suggested, I think maybe they asked, and then people have been talking about maybe if you put a little orange juice in the stuffing. Don't know if you've ever thought about doing that.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Everyone is like going the sweet and savory mode, and I'm here for it. Maybe that's the move, because, right, I mean, this doesn't have a ton of sweet going on. The onions are very sweet, but I love the orange juice. I think that'd be really nice. Orange zest would be great in that, too.
And then we were talking about that cranberry pecan one. The orange would be particularly good with that one.
Oh, yes.
And then on another side, someone does corn and creamed corn in their dressing.
Oh, that sounds good. I'm into that. One thing I would say on the cranberry with the Dorot, their ginger, we're not highlighting it today, but it's pulverized ginger frozen. You could defrost a couple of those and toss those into your cranberry stuffing, and it adds a little spice, a little beautiful kind of floralness. People are going to be like, what is that? Ginger's so surprising. Ginger, orange, cranberries. Gorgeous. All right.
Chef, there is a
Yes.
question of what is your favorite thing to make for Thanksgiving?
What is my favorite thing to make for Thanksgiving? Let me think about this for a sec. I love the bird. I think everyone's in. I mean, I like a challenge, and I'll say a turkey's a challenge. Okay? It is the weirdest shape. It is an alien. Okay? It's got those really thick kind of the breasts on top, and then it's got those thin kind of legs flailing out. And it's just, there's a million ways you can cook it. Every year I feel like I do a different way. This year I'm going to smoke it. And I just love getting creative with turkey. And at the end, kind of when you nail it and it's juicy and succulent, it's a win. I also love making gravy. I'm a big sauce guy. And I will say nothing makes better gravy than what we're doing with Dorot. So with Dorot, I've got a couple more onions here. So I'm going to use all 4 of these caramelized onions that are going to just get popped right in to our mixture, or to our mushrooms, and then a little bit of garlic as well. So we're just kind of doing a similar base here. Nope. This guy open? Let's see. There we go. So I've got a couple of those. Look at these. They just kind of go right in. And they smell unbelievable when they hit. Unbelievable. Beautiful. So you just kind of cook up those caramelized onions, that garlic, with those mushrooms, and look at how it just transforms. Again, see how the mushrooms kind of get glazed? They're almost like, they're like glossy, and they look rich. This is time. Dorot is literally, it's saving you so much time. It's not a cheat, it's a win. It's not a shortcut. It is the only way. I mean, like, I'm telling you, it is cooking from scratch. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, I tell you where I think shortcuts don't work, like garlic. This works. All right. So our mushrooms are in. Green beans are cooking. We're going to make the simplest little sauce into these mushrooms. So what I'm going to do now is sprinkle some flour right over our mushrooms and caramelized onion. And this part's important. You kind of want to cook out the flour. All right, so just kind of stir that around. You're going to think you ruined it because it's going to look horrible. Look at this. But this is exactly the way it should look. So give it a minute. If you don't cook out the flour, you kind of taste the flour. It tastes kind of gluey and pasty. So you just want to take the minute, stir this around, and let it do its thing. Beautiful. And then to this, I'm going to add equal parts chicken stock and a little bit of milk. And you're basically just making this really nice kind of cream sauce, right? So we're going to kind of scrape the bottom with all that mushroom. And this is where a lot of people add, cream of mushroom soup. And I don't know. Buy the mushrooms, make the sauce. You look on the back of those soup cans, and there's a lot of ingredients on there. This is home cooking, and it is perfect.
And it doesn't take very long at all.
No, it doesn't. Look at it. This thing's already kind of thickening up and making this gorgeous kind of texture. So we're going to let that kind of come to the boil. And while that's coming to the boil, let's fish out those green beans. So I've got a little bowl here, and I'm just going to take these green beans out. No need to shock them in cold water because they're just going right into our sauce over here. You can if you want to really keep them nice and bright and green, but I actually just like them kind of cooked like this. How fast is this? It's not that big of a deal. We're live, guys. Okay?
Chef,
Everyone stresses out about Thanksgiving. If you're thoughtful about kind of the steps when you cook it, it really shouldn't be that stressful. People always come over and they go, how come you're not like running around? I do like 90% of my prep the couple days before. Like it's not like I'm cooking that day. That way, when my family shows up, I'm there for them. I can serve them, be present with them, and I love that. All right, check out our sauce. See how thick it's gotten? It looks like kind of an Alfredo. That looks really good. So at this stage, check this out. I'm going to turn it off because it's right at the thickness I like. And I'm going to add 2 ingredients to this. All right? We got rock salt everywhere. We got rid of that. All right, so it's a couple ingredients to this. First, I've got some Parmesan cheese. And we want to do this after the sauce has thickened up, okay? That way the cheese melts into it nice. It doesn't split. So you just kind of emulsify that in. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? So much better than cream of mushroom soup. Sorry, but it is. I promise. All right, this looks great. A little bit of black pepper in here. A little touch of salt. And then, this is interesting. I actually never used these. This is my first. But I've got Dorot Gardens, the chopped basil. Okay? So if I open these up and just look at them, Richard, maybe, yeah, there you go. It looks like little pods of pesto, right? And I am assuming, because I've used other herbs from Dorot Gardens before, but it just adds this bright freshness, right? And it, like, instantly will transform, oh, this looks so good, your green bean casserole into something really nice. So I'm going to go with about 3 or 4 little pods of those and just kind of mix those in. And they'll instantly just disperse. Look at that. Look at the green that's going in there. That looks so good.
I'm getting the smell over here now too. It smells
Are you?
really good. Mm-hmm.
It does have like a little pesto vibe. I mean, it is basil, but oh, this looks to die for. I have to try it. I'm sorry. I don't care if you guys judge me. Yeah. Totally pesto vibes. It really, I mean, mushrooms are so deep in flavor. And obviously, the milk and the chicken stock, everything is very rich, right? And so when you add that kind of fresh hit of basil, it kind of brightens everything. And it just takes this to a completely different place. I love that. I added a little more salt because I'm a chef. We do that. All right, so at this point, in goes our warm green beans. Doesn't that look great? And just kind of toss those through. And this is a gratin at this point, right?
I never thought of that before, but yes, you're correct.
It
You're
totally
correct.
is. So stir that through. And then I do have another casserole dish that I just kind of grab, and I buttered this one up as well. And I just kind of shake out all the green beans. Does that look good?
That's the beauty shot right there.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I want to scrape all those mushrooms out. Oh, man. And again, I would do this totally. I would do this days before I serve it. It actually will be better. That's another kind of misnomer that people have, is that just because you make it days before, does that mean it's not as good or not as fresh? When it comes to casseroles, it's actually better because the green beans have time to sit and all that beautiful sauce that you made and the mushrooms get to kind of meld with everything. Looks incredible. All right, so if you didn't think that was enough, we are going to top this with one more layer of food, or ingredient, which we love. And this is going back to the Dorot Gardens caramelized onions. So I just grab another skillet. I turn this on a high heat, and this happens so quickly. I add some oil to the skillet, and I've got everyone's favorite, the sweet glazed caramelized onions, right? This is, by the way, this is their thing that you have to remember. You can buy these at any grocery store in the frozen aisle, and they say, make a note, buy Dorot, which I love, because you do kind of just have to make a note. Don't go get those big onions. Don't go get a ton of garlic. Just make a note, buy Dorot, go to the frozen aisle, pick them up. So I'm going to kind of just push a couple of these out into our oil.
I love for everyone, it's like a couple, maybe two more.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing, right? It's like, I don't know, with garlic, I'm like, ugh, do I really want to chop another clove? But with Dorot, you can be a little bit more liberal with it. And hey man, the more garlic, the better. And in this case, the more caramelized onions. So just a little bit of oil. We add our caramelized onions, and you can just see Dorot in all of its glory right now. Not hiding in any of the sauces that we've already done, but really just speaking for itself. Immediately, it breaks down into these caramelized onions. Look at that. And you just let them fry for about a minute. They get a little crisp to it. And this is going to top our green bean casserole and be absolutely epic. How are we doing? Any questions around this one?
Well, you talked earlier about what you like to make at Thanksgiving. People are into your Thanksgiving. So do you have any traditions at Thanksgiving?
Do I have a tradition?
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. So my grandma, who's passed, she always made something called a carrot ring. She saw it in Good Housekeeping 60 years ago, and it's basically a cake. Let's just call a spade. No frosting, but it's like just the cake part, and it's like a carrot cake. And we serve it on the side with peas and turkey and all that stuff. And it's just kind of been part of my tradition. It's, people who are new to it think it's weird. I love it. It's normal to me. But it's the other day, my wife and I went out for a date night because it's our first year of hosting Thanksgiving for our whole family, which we're really excited about. And so we were talking about, okay, like, which parts of Thanksgiving do we want to hold on to, like the carrot ring, and which parts do we want to kind of reinvent and rethink about? And so I think that's part of fun tradition is keep the ones that you love, let go of the ones you don't. Curious to hear what you guys all think and what you guys have been kind of doing every year for Thanksgiving in terms of tradition. Can we show this, Richard? Look at that. Put it in the chat, by the way. I want to hear your traditions. Okay. Crispy, easy. Just kind of scoop them up and right over the top. Look at this. The best green bean casserole on the face of the planet. Isn't that gorgeous? So fast, too. You can imagine how long it would take to fry these onions to this color. Chop them, peel them, the whole thing.
Yeah, these were so fast, which is so great when you got a lot going on Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. What are people saying for their traditions? I'm just curious.
Someone says that everyone has to go around and say what they're thankful for this year. That's what we have so far. I'll let you know if we get some more.
That's always an important one. Actually, we do that every Thursday. Thanks to Thankful Thursdays. Our kids' elementary school taught us that.
3 football games and 3,000 calories.
Okay. I'm with you on the 3 football games. The 3,000 calories sounds aggressive. I love it.
Eat, sleep, focus on the Ohio State-Michigan game.
Oh, my gosh. Trust me. Football is life. Love it. All right, you guys. Richard, this is the before, so everyone can see. I'll just tip that to Richard so you guys can see it. And I just kind of cover it with a little bit of tinfoil. This bakes for about 25, 30 minutes at 350, so this can bake with the stuffing if you want. And again, you can make this days ahead of time, cool it, rewarm it for when it's time to eat. But I just want you guys to kind of see the way it bakes up. So it ends up like this. And you can see it gets so rich, so glazy. It kind of sticks to each other in all the right ways. And this is not your typical green bean casserole. This is sticky, unbelievably rich. It's like a French onion soup met a green bean casserole. It is absolutely to die for. So I'm just going to put these side by side and we'll do a little taste here. But we've got our gorgeous stuffing. We've got our awesome green bean casserole. Richard, let's get close before I destroy these. But really simple, right? And again, what really separates them is that depth of flavor. And the way we get that depth of flavor without spending hours and hours in the kitchen is by leaning on our partners at Dorot Gardens. So again, freezer aisle, try it this year. It makes a huge, huge difference. All right, trying stuffing first. And I don't do small bites here at Homemade. Yes. Sourdough gives you that tang. sweetness from the carrots, gorgeous, gorgeous onion flavor from Dorot Garden. The middle is fluffy, incredibly moist, and the top is crispy. And this is what I look for. So good. And the stuffing. All right. I'm more critical on the green beans. Let's try. Yeah. It's not what you think about when you think about green bean casserole. That is lightly coated, unbelievably rich, still crunchy. The green beans are still kind of have a little bite to them. The sweet onions just kind of like wrap itself around everything. It's light. Even though it's rich, you feel like you can have a lot of it versus other green bean casseroles where it's just globby and too much. This is very, very kind of like mildly dressed, which is just hitting home for me. If one of these, by the way, the basil in this is unreal. If one of these hit my Thanksgiving table, this would be enough. This plus a little turkey, a little mashed potatoes, I'm thrilled. Both of these, they might take the whole star of the show. I mean, they might overpower, in a way, everyone's going to be reaching for these before the turkey and everything else. These are the best size you can make. And you, like I said at the very top of this, we didn't really want to reinvent it. We wanted to lean into tradition, do a couple of things that kind of take it from, this level to that level and save you a lot of time. And today it was really highlighting our buddies over at Dorot Garden. So thank you to them for kind of partnering with us. Thank you to you guys for hanging out. Any last questions, thoughts, concerns before we sign off? I'm just going to keep eating.
I think we've got them. We'll wait and see if any last ones come in, but people are excited. Someone says they're making both of these at Christmas, so they're getting ready for it.
Oh, they're doing it for Christmas. I love that. Awesome. All right. Well, you guys, thank you so much. Amy, thank you so much. Dorot, we love you, and we'll catch you guys next time. I think we're here next week. What are we learning next week? We looked it up. Do you remember?
I believe there's some
Is it poke?
poke coming along. Yep.
You're going to need something light after turkey. I think poke is the right call. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.